What's going on, guys? JS Paro here, and welcome back to Warframe. And today, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Warframe Styanax. Now, this is DE's 50th unique Warframe, and as such, they decided to make it a little special. If you had logged into the game recently, I don't know if it's still going on or not, because it was kind of a little scuffed, but if you had logged into the game during a certain time, you got this Warframe for free. And so, we have him here today. We're going to be taking a look at his abilities, we're going to be throwing some fashion on him, and just seeing how he plays. But so far, since I'm a little late to this, I've heard a lot of great things about Styanax. I've heard some issues, but I've also heard some great things. But before we do that, of course, we're going to take a look at his kit and abilities. I have already maxed him out. I just took him into some Hydron and leveled him up with some guns and stuff. I didn't actually use any of his abilities, but I got him to 30, maxed him out so we can take a look at him. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to head to the Abilities tab, and we're going to take a look at this. So starting off, we have his passive. Styanax critical chance increases with his shields and doubles for spear guns. It's time for some spear gun gameplay, maybe. Alright, take out his first ability. Let's see. Axios Javelin. Throw an Axios Javelin. When the Javelin impales an enemy against the wall, surrounding enemies are pulled into the area and suffer a burst of damage. Okay. We have Tharos Strike. Summon Tharos, the shield of Styanax. Swing Tharos to repel enemies and reduce their shields and armor. Styanax regenerates health for every enemy attack. Okay, some survivability there. 50% defense reduction? By default? Hildren main's kind of quivering right now. Okay. 50%. So, hold on. So you're telling me I could just, by default, walk up to an enemy, any enemy, and hit them twice, and they're stripped completely? That's really good. Okay, we'll see what we can do with that. Okay, we have Rally Point. Draw enemy attention to Styanax. His resolve uplifts him and nearby allies, regenerating the squad's energy over time. Okay, great. Styanax and his allies also regenerate shields for every kill assist they can contribute. So this is good for shield gating. Okay, maybe. We'll have to check it out, of course. Let's see here. Energy rate 3 by default. Okay, this has some potential. Okay, and Final Stand. Exude might and valor. Rise into the air and throw a barrage of Axios Javelins. The Javelins deal damage to nearby enemies wherever they land. Direct hits to enemies deal greater damage. This kit, on paper, seems really good. I can't wait to see all the nuances Styanax has. Okay, let's go ahead and bring him out here. Wow, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds really good. That sounds really good. But yeah. Alright, so here's Styanax, and here's his default look. Honestly, not too bad for a base Warframe. His prime's gonna look crazy. But yeah, here we go. He did come with some helmets and skins. Of course, it came with a Void Shell skin, which we're going to be taking a look at today when we fashion. But he also came with some new helms as well. We have the default helm, which is this one here that you're seeing before you. We have this one. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but maybe someone can change my mind. And we have this one. That one I do like. And of course the Void Shell, which comes with the Void Shell skin. So yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much that. We do have his Void Shell skin, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw some fashions together, and then we're gonna take a look at that. So I'll see you guys soon. Alright guys, I'm back, and we have some fashion frames here. Now these are, of course, all subjective. Everyone has their own opinions on what looks good and what doesn't, so you may like them, you may not like them. Regardless, I personally like them, so that's what we're gonna be showing off today. Now, for the first one here, I decided to go with a nice sort of golden aspect, like a actual proper what do you want to call it, Spartan warrior. Kind of got this nice black and gold with, of course, a regal red cape going down here. I think it looks really good. Definitely fits the theme of Styanax in my opinion, but I think it turned out really well. But if bright colors aren't your thing, I did do a muted version of this, which I think turned out also really good. I think this looks really good as well. I think it still works. And dulls down a lot of the colors, makes some less gold. So if you're not into the whole shiny thing, this one might do for you as well. But yeah, we actually do have the brand new 10th-gen shoulder pieces adorning this, as well as the Dex leg guards here. And I went with the Umbra chest piece because I just thought it looked good. Of all the things I had, it seemed to be one of the best fits. But that's basically what I use here, and it looks really good. We're using the Twitch Prime Very what do you want to call it? Infirma on both of these. So I think it turns out really well. Actually, I don't think I put it on this one. Whatever, I'll fix that. But yeah, looks really good in my opinion. And then finally here, of course, I threw together an Orokin-inspired look because everyone loves the whites, the blacks, the golds, the blue lighting, the Orokin kind of aesthetic, if you will. A lot of people like it. I personally like it on certain frames, not all frames, but I decided to throw one in here for the sake of having it there. But I think I'm going to be running with this one here. I do really like the detail here. Excuse me. So we're going to bring this one. I decided to go with a neutral posture. I really do like the Haro Noble animation set when it comes to like the default posture. I just think it looks really good. Like you're just standing in attention waiting for orders. I think it looks really good. But let me know what you guys think, of course, if you like these or not. And if you have better ones, I'd love to see them in the community. But for now, we're just going to be rocking with this. So let's go ahead and take Styanax to the simulacrum and test him out for real. Alright guys, we are here in the simulacrum. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I can never say that word properly. I don't know why. But we're here now, and we're going to be testing out Styanax's abilities. So for this, I'm actually going to be bringing the assistance of level 130 Heavy Corrupted Gunners, just to start out. These are tanky enemies, so it'll really gauge just how big Styanax his input is. I don't think I actually modded him very well. Well, let me just go ahead and pause you guys. I'll be with you in a moment. Death is soon at hand. Anyway, at the bottom. So let's go ahead and see what we can do with modding potential. I'm not sure how I would like to mod Styanax, to be completely honest with you. Let's see here. Maybe corrosive projection in the aura slot because it's the polarity. And we're going to do that. I do want to mod for Theros Strike, see how far I can push that. Let's see here. Get that 50% up to see if we can get 100% armor strip. How do I go about doing that? I think we're going to need an adaptation. I like adaptations on here to help keep them alive longer. Let's see here. And yes, I do know that most of my mods are still not... Yeah. Not maxed out, which is fine. I don't care. I don't really feel like I've ever needed to max them out. I know I can get like a better power, but this has a very limited range. Maybe a little range would do well. But for now, let me think. Umbral Intensify? What does that do? Brings it up to 70. Okay. Can we make it go higher? Augur Secrets. 82%. Let's see, is that good enough? That's not good enough. Unless, you know, I wonder something. They did make some changes to armor, the armor system now. So whereas before percentage-based stuff would basically be flat, like so if you, let's say you have an enemy with 1,000 armor, right? And you had a ability like Hildryn's where you can strip 50%. When you use the ability, it would take their 1,000 armor down to 500, which is half. And in the way this would work before is that if you use the ability again, it doesn't take the other half off. Instead, it takes half of the half. So instead of 500, now it's 250, and then 125, and then so forth. But they changed it now so that it's more flat, so and consistent. Where if you have 50% armor reduction, you hit the ability twice, their armor's gone. And I'm wondering now how that would pair with corrosive projection, because it's also a percent-based armor reduction, and I'm not sure how this would work. Because I'm at 80. No, I'm not. Hold on, I'm currently at 82%. Yeah, damage defense reduction, which is I'm sure it's its armor strip, right? And the 18% combined with the corrosive projection would technically put it at 100%. So I wonder if these are additive or multiplicative or how this works. So let's go ahead and check that real quick, actually. So we're going to come over here. They're full armor, and we're going to pull out our 2. That actually works! Okay, so yeah, it fully stripped them of armor at 82. That's really good. Okay. Before it didn't work like that, but now it does, and that's actually really good. That's really good. Okay, so yeah, I don't think I need to push that up any higher. I think we're good on that. Do I want any more strength, though? That is the question. Continuity for the buff. 42 seconds. Honestly, 42 seconds I think is alright. Let me think here. Some range. How about some range? Get some range. Where's my stretch? There we go. There we go. Now we got a much wider range here. Let me see the difference here. Oh, yeah. A lot wider. A lot more. Look at that. That's way better. Okay. Good to go there. Let's think here. There we go. That's really good. Okay. Let me just go ahead and reset the board here. There we go. Now, what do I want to do? We got adaptation on for survivability. We got intensify. Excuse me. Some range. Maybe some efficiency. Maybe flow for some energy. And maybe a streamline. Where's my streamline? There we go. Maybe some efficiency. I don't know. Maybe that could work. I haven't used the frame, so I'm not exactly sure what I should do here. Let me check the abilities again. So if we go here, we're currently at, okay. We got some range because this thing has a vacuum in it. So I'm wondering if range will make that vacuum wider, sucking more enemies in. So that's my thought there. Of course, we have the wider range for the armor strip and that. The range for the buffs, which is good. So range is good. We have some strength for the shield strip, to the armor strip, and yeah, some duration for the buff. I think we're gonna run with this for now and see what that works. I don't know, but yeah, let's go ahead and test this thing out. Okay. So yeah, look at that, a lot wider spread. There we go. There's the spear toss. Look at that. That is so much better. And you can just bash them. Alright. We can apply the buff. And then we can ultimate. Now that is badass. That is badass. I like that. Look at that. Okay. Okay, so it's based off of aim. So if I look over here, yeah, as you can see, it lands there. Okay, good to know. There we go. That's not bad at all. That's actually really good. Okay, let's try to put that together. Alright. This feels like one of those Warframes that have a really good kit, and you definitely want to spam the abilities. Alright, let's go ahead. We're gonna shield toss. We're gonna shield bash. There we go. There we go. Not bad at all. Although I don't know how survivability is going to work. So now we really need to put the survivability to the test. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to simulate. And we're going to unpause the AI. We're going to apply our buff. We're going to do... Oh. There we go. We're going to shield bash. There we go. There we go. And without dying, I managed to secure. Now, an actual fight's going to be a little more difficult because you have more enemies coming in. So you do have to manage the battlefield. But the idea that I can stand here and take out level 130 heavy corrupted gunners without breaking a sweat goes to show the power of Styanax. Is definitely very, very good. Very, very much like this frame so far. What was that? I have no idea what that was. Oh, was that the buff going off? Was that the buff going off? I have no idea. Regardless, definitely gonna need some energy for this frame. Definitely looks like one of those spammy ones. But yeah, I don't know how well I'm gonna be doing a Steel Path run since I'm new to this Warframe, but I'm gonna take him into a quick Steel Path run, and we'll see how we do. Not sure how it's gonna go, but we'll give it a shot. Hello everyone, Future Pyro here. I know I just said I was about to do my Steel Path run, but unfortunately that didn't go well. Apparently Styanax is actually received some pretty bad nerfs that make him very difficult to play right now in his current state in Steel Path without either a very particular build or helminthing some of his abilities to make up for some of the bad changes that DE have made. And honestly, I really don't know why DE did this. I never wasn't hearing anyone talking about how Styanax was broken. Or overpowered. He was just really good at what he does, which makes sense. He's a good frame. Good frames do good things, but for some reason DE felt the need to nerf. And the only reason I can think that DE felt the need to nerf was because usually when DE nerfs something, it's because they're either broken, which Styanax, as far as I know, is not, or two, it's being overused. So if it's not that he's broken, it must be because he's overused, which makes no sense because DE, you gave him out for free. Of course he's going to be overplayed. Everyone has him. I don't know. It just didn't make any sense to me. So what did they nerf? Well, unfortunately, the way people were surviving in Steel Path from after I did some research is that they would basically sit in their fort the entire time while spamming out abilities and just spamming the 4 and their abilities to stay alive. DE made it so that you can no longer, while in this 4, use other abilities. You can't use Rally Point, you can't use Shield Bash, you can't Spear Throw while in his 4, which sucks because, again, what a lot of people were doing was hopping in his 4 and then using Javelin to gather the enemies and bash them while the 4 is going. Apparently, you can't do that anymore. According to DE, this was a bug, but honestly, most people agree that it didn't really feel like a bug. Honestly, it was kind of a cool feature. Regardless, they got rid of that. You can no longer do that. Even worse is they did another nerf to his 4 again, making it so that when before you could spam his 4 as long as you had energy and you could just stay in the air. And because of the energy regen apparently of his rally point, you could just keep spamming in the air. Which, I mean, it's honestly really fucking cool. And now you can't do that. So now when you press his 4, as you can see, Styanax now has to touch the ground before the next 4 will pop. And so, what's the problem here? Basically, what this has done is effectively made you a sitting duck. One of the biggest parts of Styanax is apparently his 4, which does a lot of freaking damage. And a lot of slash procs too, which is great. Problem is that it makes now you're a sitting duck. You're not invincible while in the air, so enemies can take your shield down like that instantly. You're fucked. And you can't cancel the animation, so if you're in the air and your shields pop, you're dead. You're dead. You're pretty much just done, which is not good. And so how players, like I said, were getting around that was using his other abilities to kind of stun enemies, get health back, get shields back while in their 4. Makes sense, but you can't do that. So basically, anytime you use your 4, someone, if an Xmas is around or something, a lot of times, especially in extremely high levels, they'll just pop your shields. And then while you're still in your 4, pop you. And it just basically makes this 4 completely useless now. You pretty much can't use it, which is something I noticed. And that's not cool. Honestly, they could easily rectify this, which I don't know why they didn't, by simply making you invulnerable while in your 4, which other Warframes do have, so I don't see why this is out of the question, but DE haven't done it yet, and so you can't really use this 4 anymore, and that's unfortunate. So you basically Spear Throw to suck the enemies in, you bash them to strip their armor and shields, and then you use your 3 to kind of, you know, buff yourself and stay alive. And that's pretty much the routine. You can't really use this 4, so basically you're probably going to have to helminth it. which is unfortunate. So most players are kind of advising that Styanax is no longer a good Warframe when it comes to Steel Path. Now, I still really like this frame. I want to make it perfectly clear. I still really do like this frame. And I think for lower level content, for any new players or lower end content, not Steel Path, or maybe some lower level Steel Path stuff, maybe not like Mott Survival or something, but like some 100 to maybe 120 stuff, Styanax is still really good. And I think it still can be very much used. But anything like 140 to 150 or above, you're gonna really start feeling that pressure, that struggle, unless you're like really good. So I don't know why GE made these nerfs and changes. Honestly, from what I've heard and how Styanax was before, I really didn't see a problem with him. But apparently GE feel the need to nerf him in the ground only a few weeks out of his release. But yeah, that's okay, I guess. I don't know. Regardless, this is the kind of stuff I wanted to bring back to you. My thoughts on the recent nerfs. But that being said, I still, again, do think Styanax is a really good frame, and you should pick him up if you haven't already. Especially since, again, DE could put up another update sometime soon, fixing some of the issues with Styanax. We don't know. That being said, though, let's go ahead and continue with the video. Alright, everybody, that is the brand new Warframe Styanax. Not gonna lie, for a freebie, this is actually a pretty good frame. You really don't want to miss out on this one. I think for a lot of new players, especially, this is going to be a must-have frame. But that being said, I can't wait to really take him out for a spin in some Steel Path, really work out a build and a strategy on how to play him. A lot of fun with this frame. But for now, we're going to just keep him as he is. Next thing we're going to be doing is taking a look at the brand new Veilbreaker quest line in the next video. Hope to see you guys there. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace.